Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Oh, we're changing up this week. I'm doing good. How are you, Glenn?
Doing fine.
Oh, you ever watch that show Honey Boo Boo? Or the, what was that one that was a spawn from? The little toddlers and tiaras. You ever watch that?
Only when I'm at your house.
That's right. You did watch it at my house, didn't you?
Yes.
But you admitted at the time that it was captivating.
Oh, it was captivating. That is a good term.
There's a reason for me bringing this up, and I know right now you're thinking, why does he do this to me? He brings up these curveballs, and it's not in the rundown. What the H is he talking about, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so one of the things I learned from that show is, did you ever notice they give the kids like those giant pixie sticks and a Red Bull before it's time, or Mountain Dew, before they're supposed to get on stage and go do their little princess thing? You ever notice that?
Yes.
Yeah, I need that right now. So that's the only reason I'm bringing it up. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm glad the holidays are over, and I'm exhausted from all the festivities.
Right.
Anyway, so you talk. I'm going to go look for a pixie stick and a Red Bull.
Okay, you do that.
All
right, so let me start out the show by starting with a bit of follow-up from last week.
Oh, boy.
Listening back to the show, I realized that I was a babbling idiot. I know that's the normal case, but I even realized it. So I just want to clarify my stance on the Cabanas. And more than anything, what I'm upset with is this test of them, that they're just tense, just plain old tense, and that they're just kind of hidden away by the famous ferns, the wall of ferns.
Yes, the magical wall.
The magical wall of ferns, and I'm just I don't like the presentation of it. We did make some points in there that if they were themed better, if they were hidden out of the way, out of the public's view, I really don't have any problem with them in that context. What I'm upset with is how they're rolling this out, or at least testing it. And I know you need to test it, but I think they still could have found someplace a bit more out of the way than where they are now. So that's all. I just wanted to clarify that for everybody, because I wasn't making any sense throughout most of my rant last week, because I was just I don't know what happened, but I was out of it, man.
I don't know why you feel that way. I got that from what you said.
All right.
Okay, so noted. It's bad show. Is kind of what I'm gathering you're saying, right? It's not
right.
Well done.
Right.
Yeah, because it's right. It's literally on stage, right? I mean, it's right in the guest. It's in the guest area, and they look like garbage. I mean, it's they've gone official now, right? I think this past week was they kind of became official, just as a test, I guess, still, but. Sorry, I'm trying to find a picture of them while we chat, but they really do look terrible. They're that sort of white. I don't know, what is that? That stuff they make tarps out of, right? Whatever that is, that's what it looks like. Yeah. Okay. Well, your position is clarified. I think it's still basically we think it's a bad thing. So let's put some money on this. Do you think it will stay as is this test going to pass or fail? Do you think?
I think it will pass, and I think they will just based on, and I'm basing this on DVC, because I didn't think DVC was, would be that crazy successful that it is, but they keep building DVC everywhere that they can find a spare piece of land. So I think it's the same type of thing. I don't think, even though I don't like them, I think these will be book solid. And I think even if it's just for a status thing, right? I think people are just gonna eat these up. But I think I think yes, they're gonna stay around. But I think Disney will theme them / put them behind, or at least camouflage them better than they are right now.
Yeah, it's almost like they think that area, and I'm looking at the satellite picture of it right now. It's almost like they think that area is backstage, right? Because it's kind of the very back of Tomorrowland. It's where the Skyway thing used to be, and I guess to them they think it's far enough out of the way. Like most guests, they and remember from our conversation last time, they got lots of data to know where guests go. They probably figure most guests will not see them over there.
Right, but
yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to be an optimist. I'm going to say cooler heads will prevail. I'll agree with you. I think they're going to be very popular. I think a lot of people, whether they can truly afford it or not, will think what a neat thing it is. At first, at least, it'll be a novelty. It's very restrictive. So I think they will book them solid. But I still bet they go away. I don't know how. Is there a time limit for the test? Or have they said like it's a 6 month? Okay. All right. So I will say within the year, they will be gone. Because for the reasons I said last time, there isn't enough of them that they can stick there. I just don't think it makes it worthwhile for the effort they have to deal with it, to have to theme the things and right. You know, it doesn't seem like it'd be worth the effort. No. So and you know, if they get any guest feedback at all that says, oh, they look ugly and you know it's not worth the effort, then I think somebody's gonna say pull them out. I don't know. That's what I'm going to say. So we'll find out in a year when we're still doing this.
I hope so.
Okay.
And I hope.
Do you feel better now?
I think so. I'll probably edit all of this out because it's still. I still sound like I'm rambling, but
you sound because you're both like. Here's what I hear you saying. Like, I really don't like these things, and I can't explain myself, and nobody will understand me.
I just hate the look of them, and I hate where they are.
But you know,
do you know why? Okay, do you want to be honest? Do you know why I hate where they are? Because I love that spot.
Yes. Yeah.
I love
that particular spot by the bathrooms.
No, to the left of the bathrooms by Space Mountain. That used to be where Tammy and we would go to when the Skyway was still the building was still there, even if the Skyway wasn't there.
Yeah.
You could go back there and relax, be away from the crowds. You could get some nice shots of Space Mountain. So I just like that. That area is kind of sacred for me.
So why is it taking you 6 episodes to get to that truth? I bet that truly is the real issue that it bothers you as much as it does. Because that's what it sounds like something's going on here. It's not just because you got lots of complaints about Disney, but there's something different about this one.
I think I'm taking it personally.
And I bet that's it. You like that spot. I get it. You should have led with that. That's my spot.
But that makes no sense. That is the. It's the ravings of a lunatic.
You're a human being. You're allowed to say that. No, it's okay. Well, yeah, as opposed to the rest of all this cogent conversation we have. Just wait till we get to the other topics. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I have no affinity towards that, but I'm trying to think like.
But they're ugly. Look at them.
Similar.
Like
they are, but yeah, I know they are ugly, for sure. I mean, they would be ugly even if they just had them at a resort.
Anywhere.
They don't even look nice for that. Right? But to say, okay, it's going to be at Disney World now, right in the Magic Kingdom.
If you're having a garden party, and you need a place for the bar area or something, okay, I could see that this being that, but not set up in the Magic Kingdom. The Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. And in Tomorrowland, the biggest park, right? They look so not
the most visited park in the world. They have these tents up to get an extra $650 out of the people. 8 of them, not even like 25. There's 8 of them.
And that's the thing. I really think they need like a couple of dozen of these things to really make it pay. Are they just going to ring the park with them? That's what they should do. They just put them all along the railroad line.
Okay, we're done with this. We're done. Next.
All right, spin the wheel, man. I noticed you skipped right by my emoji blitz.
What?
That's all right. We'll let it go.
What? I don't see that.
I don't.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Emoji what? What is that now?
Emoji blitz. Hi, Sean. Yeah. Just for Sean. Just for one of our listeners, Sean. It's just for him.
All right. Do you have an update on the Christmas drones you want to talk about?
The Christmas drone. These are the things flying around at the downtown Disney, right? Yeah, I can't call it its new name. Yeah, I want to call it a mini update, just a little tiny mini update. Because I'm hoping to get out there maybe this week, maybe next week, sometime soon. I hope I want to go see him. But I work with somebody who's he and his family are rabid Disney fans. And actually, it's interesting. For Thanksgiving, they went to Disney Springs to kind of go out there and enjoy themselves. Awesome. So. Yeah. I mean, that's it's unusual, but that's what they did. And so he showed me pictures yesterday that they saw the drones. And so I took the opportunity because I'm like, I didn't really understand where exactly they were flying them and like how long the show was and like the best place to see them and all that. So just as a sort of a PSA listener service thing, he said they parked at the new parking lot, which is more slightly more towards the. It's not called the east side, right? But the east side. Near where the Lego store is. And he got off and they asked a cast member, and the cast member sent them over towards like Bongos, that area. So, because and then looking at a map, I see that's where kind of the biggest body of water is right there. Which you got to figure if they're going to do them, they probably want them over that to have as much buffer to guess as possible. So, that's where he said they went. He said it wasn't particularly crowded. Now it was Thanksgiving, so maybe it's less crowded than usual because of that. But because I was wondering, like, am I going to have to fight for a place to see these or whatever? And he said, no, it's just you go over there. It basically sounded like a very low key, casual kind of thing, and they came out, did the show. He did say the show seemed like it was only like a 2-minute show, so it sounds like it's I don't know if it's just because they're still sort of working it out and maybe they'll expand it, but I was curious. I asked him, I said, could you hear like drone noise? Is it like because they make they make a sound, and he said no. He said not until like the end of the show, and they're all sort of flying back to the mothership. That he said you can kind of hear him then, but he said it wasn't a big deal. So anyway, that's it. Just so I think if I go, I'll park on the west side at that parking lot there, and just go out by Bongos and that kind of, I guess, where like the food trucks are and that stuff. And I'll check it out. So hopefully by the next time we record, maybe I get an update. But so that's my little mini update.
All right. So you guarantee that we'll have an update next week. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what you heard. And actually, in the show notes, I don't know if we talked about this before. Did you link? There was an article we saw, or a short video or something on the. Did you link that one?
I'm pretty sure I did, but I will make sure that it is.
It's just it was the best explanation of.
I think I linked to. I think I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated by this because, I mean, imagine they take this idea and then really expand it out. I mean, right now, because that's pretty extreme. They got 300 of them out there.
Yes.
And the system can go up to 1,000, and I'm sure you could probably chain a couple of systems. I mean, imagine around, how they do the fireworks around the perimeter of Magic Kingdom for wishes, right? Imagine they did the same thing with like 5 independent drone swarms. That sounds so not Magic Kingdom. Wouldn't that be amazing? So I want to see what his pictures were. They were okay, but I want to go out there and see what it's like. But I just I don't know. I'm fascinated by what they might do with it.
And from what I've read, I read a few things this week. Kind of the consensus, and I don't want to color your thinking going out there, but
burst in my bubble again. Dream killer.
But what I've read is that it's kind of it's good. But it's almost like it absolutely is like a first generation, and it like they are like you see the potential. It's not excellent, but it's good. So they say it's not like a real show, but it shows the technology, and so I think they'll build on.
But I'm okay with
as years go on. But hey, they got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I actually applaud Disney if it's not completely polished yet. But again, I'm a technology guy, and I like to see how ideas get created, evolve, etc. So, I think it's fantastic that they have them out there in a even if they are in rough form. So anyway, I'm not expecting a whole lot out of it. I saw a kind of test video. I just want to kind of see it with my own eyes and see where they go with it. I think I don't know. I think there's some stuff they could do with this. We'll see where it goes.
Cool. Very cool. Next is something about Minecraft. What is Minecraft?
This is me talking again. Yeah, isn't there a topic you can take?
Yeah,
why don't you talk about it? All right. So, guess I'll kick this off. So I'm very late to the Minecraft party. Although I've been asking around, and apparently, it's still the biggest thing ever with the kids.
Certainly with my
It's
kids.
apparently still gaining a lot of popularity. Yeah, so it feels like it's just so captivating for a certain age range that I don't know. Anyway, so I literally for years I've asked people, including you, like, explain this Minecraft thing to me. I don't quite understand. Like, is it a game? Is it just you build things like Lego? And I never really got a clear answer.
You're welcome.
But then a couple of yeah, thanks for that. But then I don't know, a week or two ago, my son says to me after he saw some videos of people playing Minecraft, he's like, I want to play Minecraft. And so I'm like, okay, I'll jump at that chance to go figure this all out. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks, and we're both kind of captivated now. And we have a shared server we play on and stuff. And so it's still I'm late to the Minecraft party, but it's pretty cool. I'm surprised I didn't get into this earlier. But how it relates to the show is in my exploration of this, I had remembered you had said to me a long time ago that somebody had built either buildings at Disney World or something elaborate. Of course, I thought you were exaggerating at the time, but I'm sure he doesn't mean that. So, but I looked it up and I'm like, oh, here's this server for this Disney World thing. I think it's called MC Magic. I think it's his name.
Yeah. So just to give a little background, about a year ago, I actually I was on YouTube and somehow I think I read an article about this Disney World that was built in Minecraft, and that is what I showed my daughter, and that is what kicked off the Minecraft craze in this house. That's what she was like. This is insanely incredible. What is this? And so I downloaded Minecraft on like every device that we have. And my daughter and my son, they go at it, and they'll sit there for hours and hours and just build things and just have fun. So I did tell you about, and it was just a YouTube video. But I think you found that there's more to it. It's not just the YouTube video, right?
Yeah, no. So it's Disney World. Like, and I'm like, oh, it can't be that. Like, okay, I'm sure it's because Minecraft is like these blocks, right? I mean, it's like Lego brick. Like, how accurate can you make this thing? And so I expected to I'm gonna log into this thing, and there'll be a couple. Oh, look, there's the castle, and some other things, blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, I'll go check this thing out. But Glenn, so you haven't been in this server
I have not.
It's actually a set of servers. This thing is so large. It's so expansive that it's multiple servers. You can't run this with one Minecraft server apparently. So even if people out there are not into Minecraft, you got to go get Minecraft, and it's a little confusing with Minecraft because there's 3 different platforms, but this is the original PC or Mac, or Linux Java-based one, right? This is the main one that everybody's kind of started with, not Pocket Edition, I found out. So, but if you can get on this thing, MC Magic, Glenn, it is to the letter the best you could possibly do, and even then some, building with Minecraft blocks. It is Disney World. Like, you drop in, it drops you at the TTC. They have the turnstiles. They have the ticket booths. They've gone and they've either taken photos or redone the graphics of like the the monorail sign, the very iconic monorail thing over there. They have all of that stuff, and you get on the monorail and it takes you through the contemporary. That they even have the art that's on in the canyon there, and you go through and you get to the Magic Kingdom, and right now they even have all the Christmas decorations up.
No way.
And it is. Yeah, the trees on Main Street, the lampposts have the bows and everything on it. It is phenomenal. This thing is like, they should tear down the Sistine Chapel and put this thing up in its place, however that would be. But it's not scaled. It is 1-for-1 scale, because apparently I learned this figuring out the blocks in Minecraft are like 1 meter cube, so you can actually kind of calculate. The space you need and all that. So I haven't explored everything, but every time I turn a corner, I'm like, unbelievable the level of detail of this thing. So, but it's not just the outside area. You can go in the buildings. Glenn, they have the mural inside the castle of the little glass thing, and it looks exactly like it, but it doesn't look like a photograph. So I don't know how they made that. So I walked around the Magic Kingdom for a little while, mostly just the hub and the castle and Main Street a bit. And thankfully, they get that Minecraft has a way to kind of warp between places and servers and stuff. So I didn't have to take the monorail all the way over, but I could have. I could have gotten all the way back to the monorail, and I don't know. But the boat launches, they have resorts, like I mentioned, the Contemporary. I know they've got. I think the other main ones around the Magic Kingdom anyway, if not all of them. But I hopped over to Epcot, and everything is there. The flagpole with the Epcot sign on it, if you just squint your eyes a little bit, you would not know. Am I looking at a photograph? Am I really there? I don't know what's going on. They have that. They probably have the tombstone things. I can't stand it. I don't remember. They have a fountain. They have spaceship. Obviously, they have Spaceship Earth. But not only do they have the outside of things, you can go on rides in the thing. So, did you know this?
Yeah. And my kids have built little roller coasters and stuff. So I know that there's a way to do that.
We went over to Nemo's ride, and yeah, sure. I mean, it's as exact as you could make it with Minecraft blocks. But you get in a little mine cart and you go around, and they have all the scenes, and they have the jellyfish, and it's just phenomenal to me. And I've only been to that's all I've seen so far. But I mean that. And it's that times the rest of the Magic Kingdom. I think all 4 parks are there. Oh, and then we hopped over to the studios for a little bit. They have the whole. Let's see, where do we go? Walk down the main. I don't even know what the name of the street is. The main street, and then over to the Star Wars launch bay thing, and that's all there. And just it's incredible. I don't know what the team size is. The people that maintain this, but they've obviously kept up with the changes at the parks.
Do they
and
have
stuff,
construction walls up?
Kudos to them. You know what? I didn't
Seriously?
look. I should go back.
I
should go see. I would do it now, but I don't want to. I don't know.
Pizza Rizzo
you
there?
know what? That'll be my homework. I don't know if it's that updated. I'll have to go check.
So what keeps people from destroying any of it or changing it or?
Well, because you can't. I guess when you run a server, you can.
Okay.
I guess you can say some people are allowed to edit it and others aren't. Yeah, it's a really and it's and not only that, but in your inventory you have you have like a backpack, you can carry things around it, but you have an autograph book. I don't know how you use that. You have a magic band. I'm not exactly sure how you use that for different, but these things have different functions to them and stuff. And get this, they they have a little Mickey clock watch looking thing, and you can activate that, and you see a calendar of events, and they have shows and fireworks at specific times. And you can go watch them. There was one video where they had, I don't know, probably 100, 200 characters in the server at the time in front of the castle, and they were doing the fireworks show. I don't even know how you would do that in Minecraft. Just a phenomenal, for somebody like me, and I think you're a little bit the same way. I love model trains. I love anything sort of scale model, reproductions, that kind of stuff. This is the 21st century version of that. It is just so detailed and expansive and just incredible work of art. So it's I'm glad Disney's not bringing down the hammer. Apparently this thing's been going on for a few years, so I guess they're not going to worry about their IP. But you have to check it out. Anybody else listening, if you're a Disney fan and at all technical, even if you're not, you got to check it out.
That's
very
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I told my son and daughter yesterday about this, that you actually got in. And you made the joke, so I'm going to steal it, but
it's a Matrix.
Well, yeah, like in Tron, right?
Exactly like in Tron.
And one day I got in. And Tron.
Oh, what? Oh, I never noticed.
And so I think this weekend we're going to try to do that.
Oh, you got to. It is,
yeah.
And don't tell anybody, but I might have done a little bit of this at work, probably during my lunch hour. I could spend hours and hours and hours just exploring things. And I just happened on a webpage that talked about today. Apparently there's Easter eggs in it. It's a little sacrilegious to say, I guess, but I guess Walt's cryogenic chamber is somewhere in there.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so I gotta go find that.
That's awesome.
And just amazing bit of creativity. God, kudos to those guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Whoever built and maintained that. It is really cool.
So, speaking of video games,
no, nice segue. You're a professional.
There was an announcement today. It actually was announced last year, but okay, that's fine. But the details, I think, a little bit more of the details came out today. at Universal in not just Orlando, but Japan and Hollywood as well. They are going to have Nintendo-themed areas.
I'm in.
And, yeah, who wouldn't be in? I mean, that's awesome, right?
Yes.
So they're going to have expansive. They're going to be expansive, immersive, and interactive, highly themed and authentic environments filled with multiple attractions, shops, and restaurants. And so, having just been there and seeing the immersive Harry Potter world, if they put the same level of effort into the Nintendo world, I think it's going to be another home run for them.
Yeah, you're probably right. They are. I know we're mostly a Disney podcast here, but Universal is they've really hit critical mass in their creativity. I was and just their execution, at least on building this stuff. I was driving down I-4 a couple of weeks ago, heading towards but anyway, I was passing by Universal. And I wasn't expecting it, but they have so much of the new water park built.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is massive and amazing to see from the highway. So,
yeah,
it's
definitely
I would
an
expect.
eye-catcher.
Yeah, oh, totally. So I would hope and expect they would do this the same way. Any details on like specifics about attractions or no? Okay, well.
It says planning and creative work on these areas is well underway. They will open separately over the next several years.
Several years, okay.
So, and I think I also read that means that each year they want to open one of the lands in one of the 3 parks. Does that make sense?
Oh, wait a minute. Say that again. There are 3 parks? Wait a minute.
Universal Orlando, Hollywood, and Japan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
And so, like, they'll say, okay, we're going to do Universal Orlando first. We're going to open that in 2018, Hollywood in 2019, and, Japan 2020. I can't imagine Japan would be the last. It might actually be the first.
Oh, yeah, I guess it could be years before I see it in Orlando, huh?
I would say it would be at least 2018.
Yeah,
on
for
how
sure.
fast they move. They put Japan in 2017.
Wow. Do we have any idea where it will go? Because they're kind of running out of room over there, aren't they?
That's part of the question. I've seen today reading different blogs. One place it could go is where, what is it? The Curious George area, the kiddie area, or is it Fievel's Playground? I forget what it is now. So by E.T. in the original Universal Studios.
Okay.
Either they're thinking, or if they put it in Islands of Adventure, that it would replace Toon Lagoon.
Okay.
Which, quite honestly, I think it could go either place, because both of those they're pretty outdated, and I hate to say it, especially since I work in the newspaper industry, but just having been there, Toon Lagoon. I mean, I don't know if you realize this, but it's based on newspaper comics.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize it.
So that's what you're walking through. The whole land is just, it's like newspaper comics, just that's the buildings and stuff.
Huh.
So,
okay.
My kids are like, what is this? What, like, and as changes continue in to newspapers and everything else, I think it becomes less and less relevant. So, they already have Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls. They could change into something for, just overlay something there. They have the Popeyes Bilge-Rat barges. So it's like the Kalai River Rapids type ride. So they have those two.
They kind of have a Disneyland problem going on here, where they're really running out of space. Right? I mean,
absolutely,
they're bordered by everything.
Right.
There's really nowhere to go.
And that's kind of why they're people are speculating on what it's going to replace, rather than what new space it's going to be in. Because even for Harry Potter, they had to, in Universal, they had to take out Jaws, Islands of Adventure, the first one. They rethemed one of the lands. So they're not actually, there's really no room to add anything to either park.
Yeah.
So they have to reclaim land.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to it. I mean, obviously, I'm a Disney guy. We don't really spend that much time at Universal, but I think A, I need to go out there and spend more time there, and B, anything that gives Disney a little competition is good for all of us, I think. So, very cool. I guess it'll be a showdown between Pandora and Nintendo. I wonder which will win.
There's actually, I'll put it in the show notes. There's actually a really, really good article from on Theme Park Insider. It's one of the more major blogs that cover the amusement park industry.
Okay.
And I read through the whole thing. It's a good long article, but he makes really good points about it's titled "The Great Orlando IP War."
Yep.
And he's basically comparing Universal and Disney and the intellectual property that each one has and what they're building, and who might emerge as a victor, who needs to try harder. I suggest our listeners read that if they have a chance.
Yeah, you sent it to me. It's a good article.
Yeah.
You think in the long term Universal can be hurt by the fact that they own less of their IP than Disney does? Avatar aside, Disney has pretty much all the rest of it. So
true.
Does the article kind of go through that, or is it is Universal setting themselves up for failure by building so much around stuff they don't actually own?
It actually does go into that a little bit, especially with Marvel. Marvel is such a mess because they have a whole land and dedicated to Marvel properties, and they don't own. Disney owns it, so it's so weird. And by this time, I think everybody knows that Disney owns Marvel, right?
Well, if they don't, I mean, they haven't been paying attention.
So it's just this weird thing. But
okay,
so what do they replace it with? So in the article, Robert Niles he suggests maybe they could get the DC Comics instead, and just just retheme everything to DC Comics. But
that would be interesting.
But Six Flags already has the exclusive rights to DC Comics.
Well, anything can be arranged.
Sure, but for what cost?
Yeah, sure. Maybe they should just buy DC.
Well, and that's
I'm not joking. I mean, that's
not at all. He
actually
says that too because. Universal, they're buying companies. Disney's buying companies. They bought Lucas and Pixar and Marvel, and Universal is buying. They just bought DreamWorks Animation.
I didn't realize it.
So that was one of the things. Does one of them buy Warner Brothers so they can get DC Comics? And everything else, and Harry Potter, the movies are distributed by Warner Brothers, so that might actually be a good fit for Universal if they could do that, and then they could give up the Marvel property to Disney. But do they really want to do that? Do they really want to give Disney a loaded gun to point at them?
Well,
Well,
because the thing, they can only okay, great, they have some rides that are Marvel themed, but they can only go so far with that. They can't,
That's true too.
They can't. They
can't expand on. Right. Universal cannot expand on it any further than they already have. So
yeah, and already, and I don't know what the specifics of the deal are, but clearly Disney has lots of other Marvel properties that they're pushing into people's consciousness, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That they're going to make a lot of way with anyway, so they probably don't lose that much by giving back, the couple of rides that they would have themed with Marvel characters for, if they could exchange it and have the whole DC catalog to deal with. So
right.
I would go on an Aquaman ride for sure.
Sure.
So something like the
of course.
Like the 20,000 Leagues ride, but Aquaman themed.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Poor Aquaman.
He always gets a shark.
Right. All right. Well, hey, cool. That'll be something to watch. You can't wait to see.
It will.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Do you have a charity spot this week?
Yeah, I do. I got to start. I always feel like I start on a downer note like that, but this one I got to specifically. It was a little sad news for us over the Thanksgiving break. Our beloved cat of 18 years, poor Nathan, finally passed on, and he was a great cat, and he was a stray. We got him from a shelter, one of those shelters that they partner with, like PetSmart and others, and they, on the weekends they bring animals over for people to adopt. And so we got him way back in 1998, had him a long time. So anyway, my charity pick this week is the ASPCA. So if you're an animal lover, or hopefully at least have some affinity for the little creatures, and you want to help support an agency or an organization that exists to just make sure that the little critters that can't stand up for themselves have somebody on their side, preventing cruelty and helping adoptions and awareness, etc. ASPCA.org, and it also happens to be their 150th anniversary this year. So yeah, great time, Or if you don't want to give money, if you want to volunteer at a shelter or something. Lots of poor little pets that need good homes and help taken care of, because unfortunately there's still a lot of people that don't quite know how to take care of animals. So that's my pick, the ASPCA at aspca.org.
Very cool. And I'm sorry about Nathan. I always enjoyed seeing him when I visited.
Yeah,
I used to go over and feed him when...
that's right.
When,
you took care of him.
Went on the cruises and everything.
Yeah, that's right. So thanks. Yeah, he was a good cat. I'm just very 18 years. He had a nice, comfortable life. So we considered a success. He was rescued from the great wilderness and made it to our home. So
cool. And a good home too.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Today I saw on the Disney Parks blog that they are introducing a new Highway in the Sky Dine Around. It starts on December 2nd at Disney World, and it sounds kind of cool. So what you'll do is you check in at the Contemporary Resort. You'll have a cocktail there. Then you'll get on the monorail, go to the Polynesian. You'll have appetizers at the Polynesian.
No, it's not just another cocktail. You just don't,
Well, you can, you
have a cocktail there. Then you get on a bus. You have a cocktail over there.
Well, no. So you get back on the monorail from the Polynesian. You go to Grand Floridian. And Grand Floridian, you'll have your entree.
Okay.
With a wine pairing at Citricus.
Interesting. Okay.
Then after dinner, you sip sparkling wine and sample artisanal cheese.
No, it doesn't say artisanal cheese. It does not
say that. Yes,
no, stop it.
No, it does. It does. It's showing a picture of a slice of American cheese, but I don't know.
Yeah. Is Kraft still a sponsor?
With a wrapper. Thing. No, it's not. Unfortunately, they're not.
With a wrapper. Between two pieces of Wonder Bread.
And then you get back on the monorail for a final stop at Disney's Contemporary Resort for dessert, cordials, and coffee, because you'll need coffee by that time. On a private patio. Now, the private patio is right off the Grand Canyon Concourse. It used to be not private, and anybody could go out there and enjoy the view. No. So apparently,
Glenn's going to get all riled up again. Another one of his favorite spots gone.
No, well, yeah, absolutely. It's anyway, but I mean that does sound like a nice night. It's $150. I'm assuming per person.
Well, let me ask you: the monorail, are you just like hopping on as a group with a whole bunch of other sweaty tourists, or is it like you get a private car on the monorail?
It's a reserved monorail.
A reserved monorail. Oh my!
Yes.
How posh.
So only the people who are on this plan or whatever we're calling it will be on the monorail with you.
I see. That sounds interesting.
And it includes valet parking as well.
Okay, that's nice. For $150, they should.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool. It's different anyway.
It is.
It's okay. Would you do it? Do you think you guys would you do this?
If it was just if I had a babysitter and it was just Tammy and I think it'd be nice to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Quite honestly. However,
a giant sigh, and however. All right.
Okay,
let's hear the.
I'm going to be brief with this, but
what's the opposite of the silver lining?
Like I said, it's not. It sounds like something I would like to do. I think a lot of people would like to do it. I mean, it is expensive if it's $150 a person. You're talking about a $300 night where.
Yeah.
you know, but it just seems so. Last week during our podcast, we talked about a new festival coming to Epcot,
Right.
The art festival in January, and that's going to be 6 weeks or something like that.
Did you say Epcot?
And then earlier this week or late last week, they announced the Food and Wine. I think the Food and Wine Festival will be 13 days longer next year. It seems to me, to little old me, it seems like instead of building new attractions or new experiences or whatever, that Disney is simply trying to, not simply, but that they're trying to drastically increase the revenue that they get from food and beverage.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Which isn't bad. It's just they keep introducing all of these things. Their special buffets at Hollywood Studios for Christmas. For when they had the Star Wars weekends, they had a Star Wars buffet. They have all of these, dessert.
Yeah. Well, they had that Frozen theme thing at the studios last year for Last Osborne Lights, whatever that was called.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
It seems like
this
really kind of started I don't know, whatever, 10 something years ago when it seemed like that's when they really started the have dinner at this place, and then you get for some reason Fantasmic kind of sticks in my mind as the first time, at least I remember them doing stuff like this, where you'd have like a dinner package and then you'd get in the show that was hard to go see, and you'd have great seating, relative to just general seating. Does it go back farther than that, you think?
Fantasmic and the Candlelight Processional, both of those, you're right. I mean, that's kind of where it seems to have started. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not, like I said, this sounds cool. I don't have to. It's not something they're forcing me to do. I mean, the same with all of the buffets and dessert parties and everything else. I'm not forced to do that. It's it's something we can skip and everything else. It just, I don't know. It just seems they keep they're just announcing they're keeping the festivals going longer and longer at Epcot, and Epcot is an atrocious place to go now. And that's not true. I love Epcot, but it's just they haven't.
That's pretty severe.
Other than the Frozen makeover at Norway, what else have they done at Epcot? Yeah, and I know we talked about it last week too.
Yeah,
that it's
there's
next
stuff
up on the
coming,
thing.
right? Yeah.
But so this is how they put a Band-Aid on it. They just have festivals a whole year. It just the appearance, to me at least, is that they're just trying to that the effort is being put into food and beverage instead of attractions.
Well, can you really say instead of, though? I mean, we're getting a whole Star Wars land out of this.
When?
What do you mean when? I don't know. Whenever the calendar says. Next year? These things take time.
Year.
You got to build. You got to build things, right?
You're so funny.
Know.
It'll be 2020 at least.
No, stop it. It's not.
Okay, you want to bet?
Is it?
You want to bet?
No, I don't want to bet.
Disneyland will get theirs
trying to do
before
stuff.
Disney World gets theirs.
No, really?
Oh yeah. When we were there in February, they were moving Earth and things were closed off and everything else. And here in Disney World, well, I mean, you're there. You went to Hollywood Studios. They haven't built anything.
Huh.
And they're building two lands. They're doing Toy Story first.
But they are. I mean, you can't say they're not doing anything. They are doing something, despite the time schedule. They're doing things, right? You just had a big Fantasyland makeover not that long ago. You ungrateful park goer.
Yeah, and we get Avatar next year.
Yeah, you get Avatar. Yeah, so
which nobody asked for, but that's okay.
Somebody did.
I hate Avatar. You don't even know, man.
Go see last week's episode. All right, so I'm gonna play opposite side of this a little bit. I think this is a silly idea.
Do you really?
Yeah, the dine around thing. I think it's silly. Because, and I love nice restaurants. I love especially we haven't been out in so long. I love anything like get out and doing something nice.
Any kind of date night.
Sitting down for some fajitas and chilies would do it for me. But this sounds like, I don't know. It sounds like a whole lot of all right, everybody get up now. We're going to get on the monorail and go to the next thing. Like, okay, like you just can't settle anywhere and enjoy yourself. Like,
you don't think that's nice, though?
I don't. What's nice about it though? It's like, okay, I got to go get on it's the monorail I've been on 1,000 times before. To go, I like the resort. I don't know. It just sounds like a what am I trying to say? Like they got a little hook to it that it's on the monorail. And I know it's totally impractical because of the way the cars are. If I could eat on the monorail, like they had a little nice dining car. No, you hang on. Hear me out. Hear me out. So imagine, like I started off by saying I know it's impractical, but just think about it. Smarty pants. Let's just say they gutted some cars, right? They got to make a whole thing, and they have like a old fashioned train dining car scenario. Like if you could have dinner on the monorail as it goes around, and you can see the parks and all that stuff, I think that would be incredible. But
you wouldn't get dizzy?
How fast do you think that
is it goes? The express monorail? Like, does it stop?
Yes, you would. But that's part of the excitement of it. But that would be like a very unique experience. They should put maybe on the top of the monorails. They could have like like the Clampetts had the giant thing on top of their truck. They should do that where they have like seating up there. You can go up there. And but you know what I'm saying? That would be a very different kind of experience. But this is, you're going to restaurants that already exist.
Yes.
You're having food and whatever that already exists. You're just getting on a monorail to take you between the places that already exist. So what exactly is special? I could do the same thing by just saying, I'm going to get my car, and I'm going to drive the Contemporary, and I'm going to have a little drink at the Contemporary, then I'm going to get on a monorail, and I'm going to go over to the Polynesian, and blah, blah. I could just do this myself, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could.
What is extra about that?
You could.
Well, you go waste your money and tell me how it is for the show. Go do it, and actually, I have a better idea. Mm-hmm. You hear my better idea?
Sure.
You need to pay for me and my wife to go, and then I'll tell you how it was. Don't forget the sitter.
I'll dig into the podcast piggy bank and,
from the massive funds we're getting.
That's right.
I don't know. So I'm trying not to burst your bubble, but I'm trying to create a little interesting friction here on the podcast. So it just sounds like
It sounds like something that you would absolutely do.
Except it's nothing special though. It's not.
Well, actually, that's a good question. I wonder how many people it's limited to each night. Because the bigger the crowd, the less fun it would be. Right?
Yeah. Well, and of course Disney's going to really limit it because they don't want to have just like massive numbers of people, right? So they're just it's gonna be just a couple. That was sarcasm for those who don't know. They're gonna figure out what is the maximum number of people we can fit on the monorail, and let's add 2 more to that.
No, it's not. No, it can't be a full monorail full of people. They don't have enough room on the Contemporary in that space.
Okay, this is the company that just put tarps in Magic Kingdom for tents. So,
and do you know I cannot continue because you are completely correct.
I've taken away all your powers.
You did. So. You win. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
My real point for this was just saying, I don't know. I would like them to,
but just think about the logistics
instead of trying to get more revenue from me through festivals and dinner parties and everything else, build something for me so that I don't mind paying the ticket price to go in, and I'll eat your food while I'm there, and just but entertain me.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. I just yeah.
All right. So
you got to get out of this funk, man. Even in this, these tents really messed you up.
I know. So you know what I did?
Yeah.
So our next topic is going to be a fun topic. Dang it.
It's called staying home and not going to the parks.
So, seriously. So, okay. When I go to Disney...
So out of a 90-minute podcast, we'll have like a 2-minute positivity segment.
I don't care. That's fine. Because wait till my pick of the week. It's even going to be...
Minecraft thing was good.
It's even going to be negative.
Oh, that's right.
So here's the positivity.
You're the curmudgeon.
Oh, man. All right. So, when I go to Disney,
which is apparently never again.
It's apparently. I enjoy snacking, right?
Okay. I have no evidence to say yes or no. Okay, you do. I will believe you.
Do you enjoy snacking?
I enjoy snacking whether I'm at Disney or not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a blank statement.
But I do.
If you see a picture of me, everybody will be like, yeah, he does enjoy snacking.
Okay, right. You enjoy snacking at Disney. Okay.
Right. The period could go right there. So anyway, so when, I like, as everybody does, the Dole Whip, right? Do you like the Dole Whip?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. What's not to like? Yeah.
Okay.
Naturally.
Because some people don't.
Well, yeah, I guess if you're not really like a pineapple-y person or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, no. I like
Have you ever had the citrus swirl?
Yes. Yes. Also very good.
I used to like that more than the Dole Whip, but Tammy liked the Dole Whip better.
Yeah, you got to compromise.
But I haven't had the citrus swirl in a long time. So
yeah.
But one of my favorite things, though, I think even more so than the Dole Whip.
I know what you're going to say. I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
I'm writing it down. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Popcorn.
Yep, that's what I wrote. I wrote popcorn.
Look at that.
I knew
one of my favorite things was when I worked there at on the college program just a couple of years ago. If I would go by myself for the day or whatever, I would go get a box of popcorn and just sit on Main Street and just sit there and just watch people.
Yeah, sounds great.
So much fun.
What is it about? It's because
I don't know. Man.
Is there anything special about that popcorn? Because a couple of times I've had it,
no.
I'm like, this is not. It's not even like good movie theater popcorn.
It's just no, of course not.
Okay.
But it's just the idea of it or something. The smell, right? It just gets you when you walk in. It's just it's awesome.
Yeah. I think one time we got popcorn for the kid. I've never really bought it myself. Oh, I'm not. Is it my turn?
Are there? Are there any that I was going to ask? Are there any that you love to have?
So I'm not really a snack person so much. I mean, I love food, but I'm more of a meal person.
Okay.
But there's this effect. I should probably name it some sort of thing. As soon as I get into a Disney park, like as soon as I am through a turnstile, it doesn't matter whether it's freezing cold, super hot. Nothing matters. As soon as I walk through, I crave the same thing. Can you guess what that is?
Yes, I think.
Think you got it?
I think so. Do you want me to say it or you?
No, I'll say it, and then we'll trust whether you say you're right or not. A Coke. Every time, immediately when I enter the park, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, and Melissa knows it by now. So like, we go through under the tunnels in Magic Kingdom. As soon as we're on Main Street, in Town Square, I need a Coke. I'm like that. I'm looking for that vendor that's right there to get me a Coke from. I have no idea what causes that. But that's that's probably the closest thing I have to it. That, and then second to it is Casey's on Main Street. I know they're not amazing hot dogs or whatever, but they're just I guess long ago we had just fun times. Kind of your scenario with popcorn. When it's less crowded, you can get your hot dogs there and sit down and listen to the guy play piano and watch the craziness go around on Main Street. And so that would probably be my closest thing to a snack thing. But cool. Yeah, Coke. I jones them for Coke every time I go in.
And my answer was going to be frozen Coke for you.
Oh, I should. Yeah, you're right. That's if you want one thing that is specific to kind of Disney, where it's just not a regular thing. Yes, frozen Coke.
Because you sneak them on the what do we?
Shh. I got busted last time I.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got busted. Losing my touch. Okay, Nelson. Thanks. Yeah, that's gosh, thanks for ratting me out. But yeah, we used to sneak them on the Wedway, so you can just it's hot and you just get the frozen Coke there at the lunching pad, whatever it's called these days.
Yeah,
is it still that?
Yes.
Actually, I know you make fun of me, but I do like turkey legs.
Oh my God, that's what I was going to say next. Is there anything you don't like? And that's number one on my list. Is I cannot understand the turkey leg phenomenon.
Are you kidding me? That's great.
Oh my God. Oh, I cannot.
Have you ever noticed they smell like ham though? They don't smell like turkey. Have you ever noticed that?
They smell.
Come on, they're great. Right. They're the best. And do you remember they used to call them alien legs at the lunching pad?
Oh, they're alien legs, all right.
But my point is they don't call them that anymore. Like what was the purpose in changing that name? I thought that was a great name, but
I don't know.
Whatever. Maybe it's not politically correct to the non-Earthlings.
All right, so since we're going back to specifically what you could get at the lunching pad in Tomorrowland,
yeah.
Were you there when they had the handwiches?
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
Oh, so handwiches were sponsored even. They were sponsored, I forget by who. I'm going to have to look that up. But it was basically French bread, and it was a little softer. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what, like basically a roll, right? Like a hoagie roll, if you will.
Okay.
And they hollowed it. They didn't cut it. They hollowed out the inside. They took all the bread out, and then they filled it with either chicken salad, barbecue beef, and I think there was one other thing. So it was kind of like a.
Yeah, I've Googled it here. This is This is absolutely something I like. It's like an ice cream cone of food.
Yes, I was gonna say it's like a cone, like a sandwich cone. It's fantastic. The greatest thing ever, and they had it for a long time.
Oh, I'm looking at pictures of it. These look disgusting.
Oh, come on.
Well, maybe just the photography's bad in this one. All right. Well, food, man. You can always end up on a.
Right? Are we in a better mood now?
Actually, speaking of food, I was gonna. So last week we ate at the last time we went, we ate at the Backlot Express.
Yeah.
I know it's a common Southern dish, but they changed their menu up a bit. And you know what they have on the kids' menu? Maybe they always have it. I just didn't realize this. Chicken and waffles.
Oh, okay.
It just seemed like I don't know. It seemed like an odd addition to that thing, and it's like basically it's fried chicken strips.
Yeah.
And then if you've ever been to like a character breakfast, those round waffles they have that they usually have Mickey in.
Yeah.
Well, they're that, but they're Darth Vader instead of Mickey.
Ah, really?
Yeah. Chicken and waffles. Like, it seems like an odd addition, but yeah, food. We should do? We should do some research sometime, and come up with like a whole history of weird food at Disney World, and we should talk about that. Because food brings people together.
Because if you're serious, we can absolutely do that. Because
why not?
Back in the 70s, like I have all the cookbooks and all, but back in the 70s, they had some weird stuff, man.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They would try anything. Like,
oh God, yeah.
Here's some armadillo sickles. Give that a shot.
But it wasn't. It was like they were trying to create elegant food, but it was like. Like a Jello mold or something. Like it was just weird.
Right.
So we can absolutely do that.
What interesting could we make super fast for $9?
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Favorite snacks: popcorn, Coke, turkey legs. Oh, there's a picture.
What about ice cream?
I see. Yeah, but I mean,
all right. So my sister and I used to, and Tammy too, when we were there, we would go to the Main Street ice cream store.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't know if they still sell them or not, but I don't think it's the same as it used to be. But you could get a cookie ice cream sandwich. So they would when they had the bakery
I remember that.
next door, they would get the cookies from there, and then they would put a scoop of ice cream, whatever you wanted. But the last time we got them, they had it was just basically a square, like a pre-made square of ice cream, and they just took that out and plopped it in between the two cookies. I don't know if it's still that, if they still offer it or what, but we would get that and just sit there and eat that. It was so good.
Well, I went in September. I don't remember seeing that, but it was a crazy night, so I may have missed it. But are you a churro guy? Do you partake in the churros?
I will eat a churro if you put it in front of me, but I don't regularly purchase them at Disney.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because they cost like $18 for a churro.
Are they really like expensive? I don't think I've ever bought one.
Seriously, they're like $7 or something, maybe.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah, fun. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else fun that food wise. Can't think of anything.
That's pretty good.
Well, I guess
I like your Coke. I love Coke. Anytime.
Yeah, I don't. And you don't suffer that effect where you walk in and you're like, man, I gotta have a Coke. You know, that doesn't happen to you.
No, but I definitely when I'm thirsty, I want a Coke. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't want a water because I'm at Disney. I want a Coke.
Yeah, something weird about that.
Yeah. The pick of the week is up next.
Hey, all right, one of my favorite parts.
I know.
All right.
Do we want to end positively or negatively?
So, you know what? You're the host. This is your shindig. You pick.
All right, I'll go first, and I'll be brief.
Oh, sure.
So I am for our listening audience. I am a Prince fan. I love Prince.
Okay.
And obviously, his death this year was not happy. And so this week, so my pick of the week is an anti-pick of the week.
Anti. I don't think we've had one of those yet.
I know. So a new CD compilation was released this week called Prince Forever.
Did you say a CD compilation?
Yeah, well, I got the CD. You can download it, but it was supposed to come with or it does come with a special booklet, which is so. Anyway, if you are any level of Prince fan and you have his albums and music, there is zero reason to buy this CD. I bought it to warn everybody, and the reason is
you took a bullet for everybody. Is that what you're saying?
I took a bullet for everybody unknowingly.
Okay.
So here's the deal. There's 40 songs on here. It's like a greatest hits compilation, and there is one song on here that was previously unreleased.
Okay.
Called Moonbeam Levels. It was recorded in 1982 for the 1999 album, but he never put it on there.
Okay.
And then it was supposed to go on another album, Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic, and which wasn't a good album, and it didn't even make that album. So every other song on here is something that's already been released, and is one of the more popular songs. So it's a greatest hits collection. My biggest problem with this is that the versions of the songs that they use are not the album versions. They put the single versions.
Okay.
Which means that Let's Go Crazy is the one you heard on the radio, which does not have the long intro. It has the short intro that goes right into the music. It's just not... And every song that was released as a single is on here as a single instead of as the album version. And I don't know. I just prefer the album versions.
Okay.
They tend to be a little bit longer, and I'm sure that was part of the consideration, because if you have 20 songs on one CD, you're very limited.
So this doesn't sound like a collection for somebody who is already a Prince fan that would have had all this stuff. But how would it be if, let's pretend I only knew him from the radio and I really didn't have any of his stuff? Would it be...
What I would suggest is... Well, no. And so what I would suggest is getting... there was a 3-disc greatest hits compilation put out in... I want to say around 93 or so, called The Hits.
Yeah.
The Hits 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And that is a much better version of a greatest hits compilation for Prince than this thing.
Okay.
I was just very disappointed when I got it.
Yeah.
I put it in, I listened to it, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. It's not the versions that I like.
Okay. Well, you hope. I mean, it sounds awful rushed out based on when he passed. But and you got to figure there's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff and massive collections that are going to come out over the next couple of years, right? Because he had such a catalog left.
He did.
Okay.
So
I guess we'll stay and hear your review of those two. All right. So the anti-pick from Glenn. What was it called again?
Forever. And the number 4 ever by Prince. And
so ignore that forever.
Yeah. Ignore that forever.
All right. My turn? Do I get to
Yes.
pick something now?
Yes.
All right, mine is it's a positive pick. It's a CD collection called Forever.
Awesome.
No, wouldn't that be funny?
Tell me about that.
It's have you ever heard of this guy Prince? I think he's going to be something, and so it's a whole bunch of things by him.
Awesome.
I think it's him. No, my pick actually has a Disney connection. I don't know if you know this about me, Glenn. I'm a bit of a nerdy type. And
what?
I love, and I love me the space program and the rockets and the astronauts, and I still remember being a little kid, and that's what I wanted to be, was an astronaut. I don't think that's going to come to be, but back in the late '90s, mid to late '90s, there was a little made-for HBO miniseries. Produced by Mr. Tom Hanks and others, and I think it was done. I think it tailed to what they did for Apollo 13, or in parallel, or one followed really closely the other. Anyway, in his career, he went for this very heavy sort of vintage NASA Apollo phase. And so he did this series called From the Earth to the Moon. It's roughly based on a book by the same name by Andrew Chaikin. So this is sort of a dual pick. So if you want to read a great, fantastic, amazingly phenomenal book about the Apollo aerospace program, you've got to read Andrew Chaikin's A Man in the Moon. Yes, I think the book is A Man in the Moon, right? We'll put it in the show notes.
Yes.
I read that a couple of times. Everybody that I've suggested read it, they've thought it was fantastic. So it really gets into the personalities and the stories that you never heard of how it went. But anyway, sort of based on that book and sort of how that book is structured, Mr. Hanks and others made this miniseries, and I think there's 10 episodes or so, all kind of following different theories, and I think they're all directed by different directors, so they have a very different feel from one to the other, but they all really go together. I've started to rewatch this again recently. I don't know what prompted me to, but it's such a good series. If you liked Apollo 13, this is even way better than Apollo 13, the movie. And for those who may not know, it was filmed in part, at least, at the studios, right? Back when that was a working movie theater. So
That's right.
I think they filmed a lot of the in-capsule shots, the sort of stuff while they're in space. I think they did while they were there. So so that's my pick. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure why this is, and I'm sure it would make a hill of beans difference, but I've even thought about writing to Mr. Hanks or whomever and say, why the thing is not out on Blu-ray. I don't know if they just didn't shoot it in high enough quality to get it to Blu-ray, which seems, I guess it's possible, because it was destined for TV at the time, which was only 4:3 and not high def. So I don't know, maybe we'll never see a higher version of it, but there's a DVD set of it on Amazon, and it's amazing. I still love it every time I watch it. So that's my pick, From the Earth to the Moon.
Cool. Very
DVD
cool.
set. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
I think that's another one.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Terrific Recordings of Nothing. Follow Chris on Twitter and Instagram at CBGray, and Glenn on Twitter and Instagram at DizWiz. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Tron_FM, and on Facebook at Terrific Recordings of Nothing. For all things related to the show, including show notes and links to connect with us, visit us at tron.fm.
I'm so glad I got all my crankiness this week. And
Me too.
complain about all the things that are not right to our liking. But
Right.
cool. I'm hoping next week I at least have some drones to report. So
That would be cool. Very cool.
yeah.
And if not, we'll talk about whatever.
We'll see what other food and beverage package thing Disney has whipped up this week in Disney packages. Something like that.
Do you want to wager if they're going to actually announce a new one in the next week?
Wait, which side of the bet do I get today? It's either easy money or a certain loss. Yeah.
All right. If
well,
they do,
it seems
then
like
we
that
will
time.
cover it. If not, then
All right. Very good. I think what we need to do, we got to bring in a little bit more positivity. Maybe we need to start talking about some more sort of things of yesteryear, things to remember, anecdotes,
I think so.
guest hosts, other people that aren't so cranky.
Yeah, because this news, covering the current news, it is depressing.
Oh my gosh, come on.
Well, not depressing, but it's not the Disney that I like to think about.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I understand. I understand.
There, and okay, so before we sign off, so I will say, like, Disney Springs. I love Disney Springs. We went for half a day in August, and it's a great place, what they've done with it. I mean...
That's what everybody I've talked to, they've all said the same thing. Everybody likes the changes that have been done there.
Like, I would rather go to Disney World, and if I had 4 days, I would skip... I mean, we normally do anyway, skip Animal Kingdom, but I would spend a day there instead of the park.
Well, that's not a high bar, but okay. Yeah, people seem... So maybe Disney needs to get out of theme park business and just get into the shopping mall business.
But it's not just a shopping mall. It's they've done a really good job. I mean, it's nice. I don't know. We really enjoyed it. And so they're doing good things. It's not that they're not doing good things. They are. And yeah, they're wrapping up the expansion to Animal Kingdom with that thing. And then but okay, so that'll be done, right? And
yes.
And so something new comes to a park I never go to. Okay, that doesn't affect me at all. So, but yeah, they are working on Hollywood Studios right now, and I'm hoping that everything that they open and introduce in the coming years will be really, really cool, especially Star Wars Land. So I mean, I anticipate that will be wonderful. And then, a sliver of hope is that since Epcot's next on the block to be helped out, I'm really hoping that they do a great job with it and do something to reintroduce the original concept or something, get close to it at least, or come up with a different concept that is in the same vein. I mean, I'm hoping that's what is coming. So, I mean, there's potentially a lot of good things that are coming. I'm nitpicking on stupid tents in Magic Kingdom and nitpicking on food and beverage revenue and everything else. But the reality is, it's still a place I want to go to. It's still a place I want to take my family to and experience things. I wish I wish Star Wars Land would open soon. Yeah. Simply because my kids are getting older, and my fear is that my kids might be a little bit too old by the time it's open or not. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but worst case scenario, if the simple truth is, if the economy starts doing bad again, they put things on hold. Yeah. And they're quite honestly,
I can't see that happening though. I mean, that's Star Wars for them is such a juggernaut. I can't see that. I mean,
but Chris, if they open Star Wars Land in Disneyland, they've done it. They've opened a Star Wars Land. If you want to see it, go to Disneyland. There's nothing saying they have to open it at Hollywood Studios anytime soon.
Yeah, but they're not doing it to for the good of the people. They're doing it for revenue generation. So if they don't have it made, and they've already taken out the other stuff out of the park, then they're going to see that their attendance is going to be hit by that, and it's because it's a surefire money with it. I mean, it's a surefire monny grab, right?
I understand that.
So why wouldn't you? If you know you're going to make money off it.
Well, here's the deal. Toy Story Land is going to be all off the shelf,
right?
Kiddie rides, and so they're going to throw that up relatively quickly.
Sure,
I can see that opening by 2018. But there's nothing saying they have to have Star Wars. So okay, they gave us something new. There you go. There's your something new at Hollywood Studios.
No, but that's not my point. My point is that there's some number you can attach to it to say, boy, as soon as we have Star Wars done because of people like Chris and the millions of others that just will eat up anything Star Wars, we're going to make another $30 million this week. So they're going to have that pressure to get that open because they know that that's going to generate some revenue that the Cars Land won't do it. So it's if it were some neutral thing, like just some expansion that didn't have that sort of guaranteed built-in revenue generation, then I'd agree with you. But that's got to have some push behind it, because they know it is going to what it will do for them, right?
Yeah.
No,
I understand what you're saying, but the reality is they can absolutely put things on hold, and they have. And
yeah, of course they can, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. But that would have to be pretty. Yeah, I'd probably have to get pretty drastic. But who knows? But it could also go the other way though too, where if things are bad, then they need more things to kind of pull in as much as they can, right? If things are going and the tourism drops down. They're going to be trying to find ways they can pull the people left coming to Orlando from Universal or wherever to over to their parks. So I don't know. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I am too, and that's what I'm trying to get across. Is that Disney is doing a lot of good. I don't mean to be negative, but we're on a podcast that we do every week, and we have to talk about something. And we've been covering the news, and the news has not been. I haven't enjoyed a lot of the news that's come out. So, I think your idea is good. I think we need to focus on perhaps other things that we do enjoy.
Here's what you need. Dr. Chris is going to give you the prescription to your happiness. You need to go get your computer. You need to go put Minecraft on it, and you need to go to the MC Magic, and you just need to sit in there. Day in, day out, and you will enjoy yourself, because it is pretty much perfect Disney in blocky format. Actually, side note to that, as I'm walking around, I'm like, what somebody needs to do is take this idea and go build all the vintage rides that no longer exist, like Horizons and World of Motion and et cetera, Mr. Toads. They need to do that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Well, they did have that one site that was trying to do that in VR.
Yes, right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I highly doubt it, but they made a kind of a big splash when they announced that they were thinking of, trying to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
But
which is really fascinating. You think about it. Like, where do you stand on VR? Do you think VR is just a faddish thing, or do you think it's got legs at this point?
I mean, I think it's a fad. But I think if the equipment can be more comfortable and less bulky, does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like,
well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, did you see the new one from Google? I can't remember. Daydream, I think they call it.
The little felt looking.
Yeah, well, they're trying exactly that. They're trying to make it out of more fabrics and less sort of hard plastic and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think they recognize that it's going to go that direction. But there's so much interest in that these days, and so I'm just sitting here wondering, like, imagine that really takes off. And imagine, so we're talking about the VR of like imagine if you had Minecraft type of thing, but really high res VR. Disney's an entertainment company. Like, imagine, and then of course we're probably talking 10 years from now, but I wonder what kind of experiences they might conjure up that are more VR related, so that you get to experience, the parks from your home in Ohio or something,
Right. Well, and that's actually what that website was trying to do. They weren't trying to do it. What they were doing was trying to petition Disney to do this. Yeah. So that, it's another revenue stream for them. Hey, you want to ride Horizons? Okay. Pay us $9 and you can ride Horizons as much as you want.
Fascinating.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would do that.
I've not really experienced the kind of new crop of VR. I've done a couple of things with like Google Cardboard or whatever, but there's been a few people whose opinion I really trust in this segment that have tried, Oculus and Vive, whatever it is, some of these new generation things, and they all kind of describe this similar experience of, you kind of come out of it a changed person, like it flips a bit in your head or something, and you go and you can really sort of see where it's going, and it sounds very positive. So it's going to be kind of fascinating to watch where that goes and what kind of effect it has. So, anyway, I just want it so I can have. I want my Lucite fountain back at Epcot. I want World of Motion and Horizons.
Yep.
And that might be all I need. Just give me that. I think I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. VR.
All right, man.
All right.
VR.
Well, go. All right. We're going to, next week.
Next week.
All
All positive.
You know what? No more Cabana talk. How's that?
No more Cabana talk at all.
All right. Bard. Emoji Blitz. The whole show.
It's been emoji blitzed.
All right. Very good. See you next week.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.